So you want to be a fishing guide. Okay, well, this is what my office looks like as a fishing guide. So no, it's not a cubicle. It's a lot more exciting than a cubicle, that's for sure. But there's some things that kind of get overlooked, I think, when people are like, oh yeah, I want to be a fishing guide and all these things. And like, don't get me wrong, I mean, like, it's pretty cool, like getting to like work out on the water here and stuff. But they don't realize that like it's a business at the end of the day, and you have to run it as a business. So like these people, they're really good fishermen. Don't get me wrong, like they're really good fishermen. They're like, all right, I'm gonna be a guide. I'm like, okay, and then they become a guide, and then like they don't understand why like it takes them so long to get off the ground and stuff, because eventually, if you're a really good fisherman and you become a guide, eventually like you'll be getting lots of business, because it takes a while to kind of like, if you're just going off word of mouth. But yeah, like if your game plan is just like, hey, I don't know anything about business, I'm just really good at fishing, so I'm going to become a fishing guide. My plan is to just like wait a decade, and if it takes me a decade to get to where I want to be, then cool. Yeah, then awesome, like if that's your game plan. But I'm talking about like, most people don't have a decade of patience to wait. I know I for sure didn't. So you have to actually, like, believe it or not, like you have to advertise, and believe it or not, you actually have to like work on the business, and not just in the business doing like the fishing and stuff like that. You got phone calls and leads to follow up with, and like it's this whole thing. And lucky for me, I actually fell in love with the actual process of business itself, which I didn't know that was going to happen, but it helped me out a lot, because not only do I enjoy fishing, but I also love like figuring out different marketing tactics and things like that. So that's the biggest thing at the end of the day for anyone like who's curious about it, or like new to it, or looking into it, or like whatever. Just make sure that like you have to be a fisherman and a businessman, not just a fisherman. So you have to be both, and that's what happens when you become a guide.